everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Week in Review, where we take a look at all the different videos we put out over the past week, give you short summaries of them, and then if you want to see the full thing, we have links in the description below. Kind of an index of sorts of our videos. Well, this past week, the big thing was we started our top 100 games of all time. We did two of those, 100 to 91 and 90 to 81. We did more stuff. Let's take a look.
Hey everybody, I'm Zee Garcia. Here's what I did last week. So I did another episode of Unsung Gems covering the letter R, talking about 5 games that I think need a little more love and that begin with the letter R. And then I reviewed Scout, which I rate an 8 out of 10. This is a ladder climbing style game, trying to get rid of all the cards in your hand. But it's got a couple of really neat twists in which the cards are double-ended and they'll have different numbers on both sides. And you can also not reorganize the cards in your hand. So when you play a set, all those cards must come from a clump together in your hand. And you are trying to manipulate what you play to bring other cards together and give you better options. Very clever, simple game, but one with a nice amount of tactics and very enjoyable, very conversational kind of game. Good for the family. And then I reviewed Caper Europe, which I rate a 10 out of 10. Love this game. This is a reworked, kind of streamlined version of Caper from the same company that put it out before. And this is a 2-player head-to-head game in which you are collecting and deploying these thieves to different cities, different locations, and giving them gear, trying to steal, paintings from this place or gems and jewels, trying to control different locations, score the most victory points. The game is beautifully smooth, gorgeously constructed, and makes for a very tactical, very interesting 25-minute playtime. I really enjoyed. I already was a huge fan of Caper. I think this one is even better because they've streamlined some things that retain all the interest of the original while getting rid of some of the overhead and upkeep that came with the previous edition. So, absolutely a fantastic 2-player game. That's going to do it for me, everybody. I will see you on the next one.
Hey everybody, Chris Yee here. This week I did 3 reviews. The first one was for a game called Iberian Gage. I gave this one a 7. It is by Capstone. It's in the Iron Rail series, small kind of cube rail type game. This one, unlike the others, is an investment game and uses what's called what people consider like an 18xx style economy. You have your own treasury. Every company that you invest into has their own treasuries and use the company's money to pay for rails. I liked it. I think it's really interesting. I like the idea of the positive interactions between the players. There's just a little opportunity. I don't know, you have to be into this style of game, and I think that it's a good one. I don't know if it's exactly for me. Of course, you can check out my review for my more nuanced thoughts on it, but 7, I think is pretty good. Next up, also by Capstone Games, is a game called Rorschach. I gave this party game a 7. I liked it quite a bit, and I think it's going to be accessible, but I don't know if it's one that I want to pull out all the time because of the rules overhead, the reliance on one person knowing the rules, which would be me, of course. It was fun, and I think it stands out a little bit, but also there's a procedurality to it that I didn't find behooves usually a party game. And so it's one I could see playing from time to time, but there's also other party games out there that are just quicker and easier to run, but I think it's good. I think it's definitely a good game. And then lastly was the Lost Ruins of Arnak Expedition Leaders Foursquare review. I gave this one an 8.5. This is an expansion that gives player powers, more research tracks, some more cards, and some more stuffs and alternative rules. And I said stuffs. But I like this one. I gave an 8.5 because Arnak is not a game that I'm going to pull out all the time, but this one actually encourages me to pull it out and play it more. And so I think that does a great job for what an expansion should do. I did a couple of other videos as well, one of which was the voiceover, the board game story. It's kind of like a movie trailer. This time it was Cthulhu, Death May Die. It's a fun, pulpy, movie serial type look at that. So if you want to see something just different that we do on the Dice Tower, check out that one as well. So anyway, that's been my week.
Hey there everybody, it's Mike DeLisio, and this week I was part of a Foursquare review for the expansion for the Lost Ruins of Arnak Expedition Leaders. I gave this one an 8 out of 10. It is a type of expansion that I like in the sense that it just gives you more of what you already wanted, more cards. It does have some new research track overlays, a double-sided one, which is great. My favorite part of the expansion is the individual player powers. I didn't quite give it an excellent because it doesn't make me want to play the game more than I already did. However, if I am going to play Arnak, I probably always want to play with the expansion, primarily because of those player powers, and the extra cards are great as well. So that's it for me this week. Let's keep it moving.
Okay, so from myself, I did just a few reviews this week. Well, I did 5 short reviews of games that looked good but weren't particularly good. Then I did a review of Cellulose. This is the new game from Genius Games, a scientific game about plants and cells. Very good game. A few small problems, but I enjoyed it. 7 out of 10. Gutenberg, I love Gutenberg. Fantastic game about the printing press. An auction-style game. Auctions are strong. If you're someone who doesn't like auctions, I wouldn't look into that. But you're trying to fulfill orders. I was just very impressed with this one. Great components, too. 8.5. Kamisado. I've reviewed this on the channel before, but this week I took a look at it with my children. They've never played it before. They all liked it, and I gave it an 8.5. They gave it 8s. We did some live plays this week. We did Mike did a live play of his favorite game of the year, Merchant's Cove. I did a live play of my favorite game of last year, which was Ark Nova. I did some more reviews of shelves. We did our live play stuff, shoot some marbles, crowd surfing. So a lot of stuff went up this week. We also launched our Kickstarter, so there was all that going on. But with all that stuff in the mix, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Week in Review on the Dice Tower.